And welcome back to another daily devotion. I'm Pastor Roy here at Woodlawn Christian Church in Lake City, Iowa, and this devotion is for Tuesday, February 21st of 2023. We are in the book of First Corinthians. We've been working our way through First Corinthians since the beginning of last week. Today we're in chapter 2, and we're going to look at verses 6 to 9 today. The section here is called The True Wisdom of God, and it actually goes all the way through verse 16. And originally I was planning to go all the way to 16, but in my preparation today, I decided I wanted to talk a little bit about a pitfall that we could fall into that this beginning here from 6 to 9 kind of sets us up for, and we want to be careful of that because it is a historical fallacy or heresy actually. So let's take a look at verses 6 to 9 in the second chapter of First Corinthians. All right. Yet among the mature we do impart wisdom, although it is not a wisdom of this age, or of the rulers of this age, who are doomed to pass away. But we impart a secret and hidden wisdom of God, which God decreed before the ages of our glorification. None of the rulers of this age understood this, for if they had, they would not have crucified the Lord of glory. But as it is written, what no eye has seen, nor ear heard, nor the heart of man conceived, what God has prepared for those who love him. All right. Well, first of all, what God has prepared for us, our salvation, none of us could perceive that. None of us can completely and truly conceive of the depth of that love, or what God has bought, redeemed us for, what He has purchased us for. Um, so here it's talking about. We've been talking about that. Yesterday we talked about Paul wasn't not coming with great wisdom. It's not about his wisdom. It's about God's wisdom. It's all about God and all about Jesus. It's not about anything that we do. But here he does say, but yet among the mature we do impart wisdom. And that's the understanding here of the scriptures, the understanding of that the scriptures are proclaiming, they are prophesying the life of Christ, the appearance of Christ, his ministry. But the rulers missed it because they were wrapped up in worldly things. Some of them missed it because of their own egos. Well, a lot of it was egos, but some of it missed it because of their adherence to rigidity of the way they were looking at the scriptures, and they couldn't see between the lines, if you will. But the thing we've got to be careful here when we read this is that we try to retroject this into our own experience here and say that there's a mystery here there are still mysteries in Scripture, but the idea that there's some secret knowledge out there is what I want to warn you about. That's called Gnosticism. And we've got to be careful that there is not some secret knowledge out there that only we are privy to, or only a very select few are privy to. That's a Gnostic, leaning or inclination, and we want to avoid that at all costs. We want to know nothing but Christ crucified, as Paul would have said. We're not there trying to think that there's something beyond Scripture. Let's put it that way. Let's realize that, because the Gnostics pretty much believed that, and they actually, I mean, there were a lot of script or a lot of texts, I should say, that never made it into the Bible, never that were destroyed because they were Gnostic texts and they had secret knowledge in them that only the few, the chosen, would know. The other thing I want to point out about this before I end here, this will be a little bit of a shorter one today. In here, it says over and over and over the word age, and that's the word eon or aeon, and that's where we get the word eon. And it means it's a time period. It's a period of time. It's a finite and not an infinite, but it gets, unfortunately, sometimes it gets translated as being eternity, but it's not. It's a undefined period of time, but it is not infinite. It's a defined period of time, and that's saying here that the time of the rulers are doomed to pass away. And this age we are in right now, this is a time between the first coming and the second coming. This time will pass away. We are ticking down. When that time is going to come, I don't know, You don't know. Nobody knows, but the Father only knows. Jesus told us that. So also be careful that you don't fall into that trap of trying to discern and be one of those people saying it's going to happen on Wednesday at 3 o'clock, which I say all the time. What Wednesday? I don't know. I doubt it'll be Wednesday. I doubt it'll be 3 o'clock. We just don't know. That's just kind of a joke that I have that I like to say to people. At any rate, I think that's all I've got for you today. We'll pick up there and we'll finish this. We'll probably back up track a little bit there. Like I said, I had a little bit of a rant I wanted to go on about being careful of not falling into the idea that we are too clever by half. That's what Paul's really warning us about here. It's not about our cleverness. It's about Christ, not about you or I or anyone else's intellect or perception. All right, have a blessed day. And please, please, please be a blessing to someone today. And if you enjoy these devotions, please do like and subscribe. We'd love to have you back. Okay, take care. Be blessed.